All this Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by Paybar Volkswagen Challenge, Car Care Clinic, and BMW M Performance Parts and their associate sponsors. Welcome to Red Star Raceway, and Regional Extreme Festival action, as always, is expected to be pretty hot. Unfortunately, the weather is pretty cool. So it's going to be hot action on track and some cool conditions, which are ideal for the engines, not so great for the tyres. Let's see what's going to happen here at Red Star Raceway as we kick things off here with the Regional Extreme Festival and BMW M Performance Parts Racing Series. Great to have the crowds back here as well. They're going to love all the action that's going to be out on track, especially when it comes to the BMWs. There's a couple of new drivers who've joined the BMW M Performance Parts Racing Series. Great to see from Natal and the Warden area, Nicholas Naidu. And Sav Guterri makes a welcome return in a big F30 powered by an S65 V8 turbo. He put it on pole position and we caught up with him just before race one.
Well, yeah, it all came together, you know, and the whole thing was new to me because it's a new car with a new motor. So it's running the V8 S65 engine, which is the first in the world to be turbocharged, actually. And we thought we'd develop it and do it. It's taken 2 years, but it's all coming together, and you know, it's in development. So far it worked well. I've done 8 laps of the car since Wednesday. I did 4, and today I did 5. So it went quick, and I surprised myself because I've never been here before on this track with this car. So we did a few adjustments, and hopefully we can finish the race today. I'll be very, very happy.
Well, it's going to be an interesting race, there's no doubt about it, with Sav Guterri on the front end. Look out for Adrian Dalton, going to be pushing him hard. William Einkammer is always fast here at Red Star Raceway, and definitely a man to be watching out for as he makes his way to the front end. Great to see a couple of guys jumping up in Class 2. It's going to be interesting to see how those jumps happen and what happens with them in the race as well. Jagger Robertson, always a big contender. He'll definitely be fighting hard there with Andreas May, of course, the reigning champion. Here we go with a little warm-up here and heading into the start procedures here for race number 1. It's going to be Adrian Dalton who will be looking to take on Sav Guterri into turn 1. Running this way around makes it a little bit more difficult for these cars, particularly the bigger cars out on circuit. Coming through now to take up their race positions, and this is it. Lights out and we go racing. Is Sav going to get the drop? It's going to be Dalton down towards turn 1. We'll wait and see as they hit the lights out, and off we go. Down into turn 1. Oh, and a couple of guys getting out of shape in the background too. And before the racing started, we caught up with Bernard de Gavert.
We're now known as the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. We had a long-standing relationship with Bridgestone, who've moved on, and yeah, so we thank them. And we thank BMW South Africa for coming on board. It's great to have an OEM sponsoring our series. And yeah, we've been growing quite nicely over the years. We started as a small club championships in 2011, went regional in 2016, and we just keep on growing. It's nice, affordable racing for the classes C, D and E. Obviously A and B is a bit more expensive to run, but the average guy on the street can come and race with us. Class D and E, it's very affordable classes. And yeah, so Kailami M Fest is coming up in October. We'll be racing there at Kailami. We're expecting about 50 entries, and we're back at the 9 hour at the end of the year. Also expecting a good 50 entries there. Today we're on 39 entries. We had a withdrawal, so we're on 38.
38 cars on track. Wow, that's incredible. Can you believe the race action that's happening at the front end? Very difficult to keep up with all the classes that are out there, classes A to E in the BMW M Performance Parts Series, but at front end, it's Class A. Andreas Meyer battling a little bit there at this stage and trying to close onto the back end of Jagger Robertson. Jagger Robertson doing the same thing there with Fabio Fedetto, and William Einkammer is just up the road. But have a look at the gap that Sav Guterri has pulled out already over Adrian Dalton. There's not really an answer there from Dalton. And you can see William Einkammer is trying to find some way to catch up to the back end of those top two. Right now, it's a battle royal here between Jagger Robertson and between the hard-pushing Andreas Meyer. Class B battle heating up there as they go into the Bridgestone chicane. Now coming across the line. Sav pulling slightly away there from Dalton. The extra shoes and clothing, BMW M3 CSL, battling a little bit to stay with that F30. Understandably, with the big V8 and the turbocharged power that it's got, it's going to be a hard car to beat. But Dalton's not letting it away. He is definitely going to give him a run for his money. And it looks like with Sav, you're going to have to be very careful with these big cars, and with all the turning circles that are out here on the circuit, braking might become an issue later on in this race. We'll keep an eye on those top two to see exactly how that goes. As you can see, they're hard charging. It's literally on the brakes hard and into very, very tricky corners. Sometimes it's a triple apex. Most of the corners here at Red Star Raceway, double apexes, so it makes it exceptionally difficult. And look at the battles happening right through the field. Absolutely brilliant stuff to see all the cars fighting so hard for the various classes that are out there. One of the class battles, of course, to watch out for, there's Shane Grobler and Troy Cochrane getting in the mix, and we go on board here with Cochrane. Absolutely brilliant stuff as he comes out of turn 5 and gets a little out of shape in the front end. He got to get exactly what was happening there with Michelle Singh, and he's having to fight out, of course, just ahead there with Alan Hilligan. It's actually Hilligan that we're watching as he gets out of shape there coming out of turn 5. Brilliant stuff for catching that car, but definitely lost a little bit of ground there, and Cochrane's going to look to pounce as they come down into the short hairpin. Very, very tricky corner to get all sorted out, and Smith is in there as well. Superb little run there from him. You can see just how hard they're having to charge there for that position, and this is Manny Ribeiro's point of view. Getting outgunned now by the 2 big gunners coming through from Class A. Opening up a margin, and they've got into the back markers now, and that's helped out. You can see Sav Gutierrez under better pressure from Adrian Dalton. Dalton has definitely capitalized on the fact that the back markers have caused some issues there for Sav. Andreas Mayer's got ahead as well. Change up there between himself and Jagger Robertson as they get into the back markers too. Jagger comes back at him though. Brilliant stuff, and blue flags waving frantically for those back markers to warn them that the quicker cars are coming through there. The Class B battle is starting to rage as hard as what's happening out front. Well, we saw Dalton climb right underneath the big wing there of Sav Gutierrez in that F30, but the Sav Speed car just staying out front right now. Let's see what Dalton can do, trying to use some of those back markers to his advantage. Oh, Sav's made a mistake. Sav's run wide. Sav has run wide. That might be under braking. There might be a little bit of an issue there on that car with the brakes, and we did say there might be some problems with braking in a circuit with these big BMWs. Change up again between Andreas Mayer and Jagger. Jagger's got through there, and looks like the German's got some work to do. He's going to have to close down on the youngster. Jagger Robertson, of course, spending time not only in this category, but also fighting hard in Polo Cup. So he's definitely going to be a hard season and a lot of race action to get under. Various Gunpuff now into the mix. And this is superb to see. 4 or 5 cars all absolutely evenly matched. Look at that little brake marker coming on as he climbs on the brakes there on our onboard graphics. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And here we go onto the short straight. Let's see what he's got in terms of power. Hold up. Oh, there's a power change up here. Here comes Sav back again. I thought that was Sav. It was just caught up with a second black BMW, but it was Sav Gutierrez diving through there to try and find his way past. And as they come to the line, the flag is out. Dalton is going to hang on. And he hangs on only just to beat out Sav Gutierrez. William Weinkamera will come through for 3rd place, beating out Fabio Fedetto. Andreas Mayer hangs on as well to beat out Jagger Robinson. Carlo Garbini and Salvi Gutierrez in 8th place, just ahead of Nicholas Van Sale and Oz Baggioni, your top 10. Dalton takes Class A, Andreas Mayer takes Class B. Wadley takes the Class C's with Shane Grobler winning out Class D, and Nicholas Herbst taking Class E. Let's catch up with Class B's winner, Andreas Mayer.
Yeah, it was a great race after 2 disappointing events that I had due to some gremlins with my gearbox, but that's finally sorted, so now I can go again.
After a great dash with the German, let's catch up now with Jagger Robinson.
Unfortunately, getting held up by an A-class car cost me in the pieces where I'm fast. So German caught me, passed me. I passed him back a lap later, and I just didn't have enough to get him down the straight. So he got back ahead of me. I tried everything I could, but I just couldn't get past him. So otherwise, good haul of points.